Raymond Ford. He was on the undercard.
Oof,
I believe this was a fantastic fight, and I think he won in the dying seconds. He would have lost otherwise on the scores. Give us your verdict, and I believe it was a great fight to watch. We should all try and catch it if we can.
Definitely a strong fight of the year candidate. You know, we always hear that after a fight, but truly, this fight here had a lot of different flows. Otabek, I finally watched him like right before the fight, and I seen dude's got some thunder in his hands. Pretty good feet. Technically strange in his own way. It seems to just work for him. He's a little bit wide, but man, he throws in combination, and we saw that in this fight. Just seemed to be, Ford seemed to have a little issue with the power, with reading where the punches were coming from at times. So Otabek, first quarter of that fight was definitely in control. Raymond Ford makes an adjustment, starts walking Otabek down. Otabek, we start seeing him on his back foot. Most of the time, Raymond Ford seemed to be controlling the distance, but Kholmatov, man, great pace. Was throwing, punches and bunches, good body work. And you see though, Ford, he was losing the battle, but seemed to be winning the war. And we see as the fight progressed, a battle. I mean, I had it going into the 12th round. I had it a bit wide. I'm not gonna lie. I had Otabek up 8-3, but nonetheless, still saw it as a competitive fight. And he's up 106, 103 on two scorecards, down on the other. Otabek seems that if he just finishes the fight, he's the victor. We get down to those last 20, 30 seconds. He gets hurt. Falls to the floor. Referee, decides to call it a slip, which I disagree. Gets up, gets clipped again, runs away, gives his back up to Raymond Ford. Raymond Ford lands a hard shot. Referee decides with 7-10 seconds left, no more. Fight's over, and the new Raymond Ford is our champion. Great fight, man. People are a little, they believe a little bit of controversy when it comes to it. I believe it was the right decision. One punch can change everything. He was obviously hurt. Raymond Ford lands a super clean punch. Like I said, back given to the ref, to the opponent. One thing, and we've seen too many deaths, too many, harsh injuries. But I get it, man. People, they want to see, they wanted Otabek to win because they probably bet on him or picked him. I ended up picking Otabek. I'm not upset because you just can't do that. Shout out to Raymond Ford. Goes on to enemy territory. He's a matchroom fighter. Goes on top rank. Otabek just signed the top rank. Like I said, down on 2 of the scorecards. He knew he needed that. He knew this was probably, his last fight. Actually, he said, this is it. I'm one and done with this world championship at 126. Gonna move to 130. Raymond Ford, I just believe deserves a lot of praise for that performance, to do what he did, how he did it, undefeated opponent. People fight hard for those O's. Raymond Ford keeps his and takes one for a world championship. Raymond Ford, man, can't wait to see your next fight.
Yeah, fair comments. I did see the stoppage, and it is one of them. Like you say, I think the fact that Kholmatov was literally running away, wasn't he? I think if he were just kind of backing up while still facing and hands up, maybe he would have seen the bell. But I think most people, from what I saw on the reactions on social media, I think most people thought that the stoppage was absolutely fine. So yeah, it sounds like a great fight, one that we're going to have to catch at some point in future. Josh, I don't think you've seen this one. Maybe you've seen just some highlights at the ending and whatnot. But have you got any other thoughts maybe on Raymond Ford going forward?
Yes, I caught the highlights, and I give Raymond Ford props. What a way to close it out. And I agree that Kholmatov, or whatever his name is, he definitely looked as though he was done. And I think the stoppage, regardless of what some may think, I think it was warranted, just given his posture and defensive nature there. with his back turned almost in some sense. So the referee had to do what he had to do, make the right call right then and there. Raymond Ford, hey, he is one of these guys that has some backing. He's had moments where he's looked good. He's had some, or at least for sure, a controversial fight when he fought Edward Vasquez. And I said back then that I felt that was a contest that should have gone Vasquez's way. And Ford, he's continued to get better, I guess you could say, from an overall standpoint. And he was losing this fight. I actually picked Kholmatov coming into the fight myself, and he figured out a way to get it done. So what more can you ask for? He's a champion now. The battle was written on his face. You can certainly see that in the aftermath of the contest. So I give him props. It'll be interesting to see how he does here moving forward. So if he continues to improve, then hey, the sky's the limit. But I'm going to go back and check the fight out in its entirety. But from what I saw, yeah, definitely some pretty solid action there.